All right, hey, welcome to episode 16, everybody. Glad you're here. Glad you made it, and we're gonna keep cranking along. I'm Jake.
I'm
Brent.
Mike. And I'm Mike.
Adam had a prize last week for people that commented. I don't think many people did, but
that's because nobody could follow his stupid ass fucking logic.
Let's not.
It also came on the heels of the poem announcement, so it's like, whoa, what's going on? There's two announcements, and one, I can't follow everything here. I got a job. But then, so Adam's prize was for whoever picked number 3, and the crappy prize was for number 8, and nobody picked number 8, but Heather picked number 3.
Look at this.
So your boy wins the prize. However,
how does your wife win the fucking prize?
She listened to it. Said, "Should I write a poem and should I do it?" I said, "Yes." Go on YouTube, put a number in, and she did.
So she actually commented and picked 3.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah.
She picked the old turn 4 at Daytona number 3.
That's right. And you know what? I want to give not all of it, half of it, in one night to Wes, because Wes Wilkes, because he was the first to comment, and he kind of actually deserves it, but he doesn't get it all because we won it.
Oh my god!
He has to come over, play poker, and he can drink as much of it as he wants, up to half.
Cool. Well, we appreciate everyone listening. Our shout outs this week are Lindsay Holmes, Jacob Miller, Ryan Wyant is back this week again. Ben Kiskell is back again. Chris Tondevold. I feel like I forget Chris a lot. Chris with Ambition. He shares all the time. I feel like I definitely missed this. Brian Winnington shared. RJ Bunda shared. Joe Lockman shared. Wes Rice shared. Katie shared. Jamie Emery shared. And we appreciate you guys. Also, you want to know how much money Katie has made?
Total? I know last weekend she had a good weekend.
Oh yeah, it's our Katie update with her little feedies on the internet. She has made $3,500 total so far in a couple weeks, like 3 weeks or something.
So, look, I know Harry listens to this thing, and I really like Harry. He's a funny guy. He's a good guy, and I really appreciate he was on the show. At this point, she's showing pictures of her schwa.
Shut up.
At some point, someone's going to be like, all right, how much to see that thing? It's going to happen.
Nah, dude.
Are you on? Is that someone new, Brent?
Huh?
She's not.
Well, I didn't hear what you said.
So next week we'll have another update. We'll keep tabs on it, but at some point she's going to have to sponsor us. Some feet going to have to sponsor us.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I'm just saying, at some point it's going to stop at toes and move to vagina.
Stop it.
Is there a stop at calves and knees on the way?
Bro,
well, yeah,
let me tell you.
Ankles, kneecaps, and pussy. That's where it stops.
Brent, let me just tell you. Harry being on here, one thing. If that girl comes on here, you better watch out, dude. She will.
I better watch out too. She might rip me in one.
I'm just saying, from an outsider standpoint, you don't make $3,500 in a weekend or a month.
Dude, stop.
On toes.
Please stop.
You just don't.
I'm going to get a long, just all caps text. I'm scared.
Well, it sucks to be. Give her my number, because at some point that shit is moving north.
Hey, girl, we'll talk to her next week on the podcast live and figure it out.
Well, everyone have a good
That's
day.
The tease. All right. Hey, so question. Would you rather have to say everything that comes to your mind, like every pertinent thing, not every every pertinent thing that matters to the conversation, or never say anything again?
Ooh.
That's tricky.
Here's the thing. If I said everything that came to my mind, I wouldn't, by week's end, I would have nobody else to talk to anyway. So I might as well just keep my mouth shut. You know what I'm saying?
I pretty much say everything that comes to my mind anyways. And
no, you don't.
Mostly.
No.
Nobody does.
Mostly. I'm saying there's some things I'm sure that are buried in there. But if I had to say them, I mean, I'm going to say them. And I'm going to laugh and be like, right? Or just kidding. Point some fingers at them like, I don't know.
I bite my tongue a lot.
Does written things like count too for like email or text? Do you have to say everything you're thinking when you're typing an email, or does that, since it's not spoken,
no,
it's okay?
I think if it's not spoken, you'll just say it, but your fingers can do something else, right? So
yeah, I can talk and write at the same time and doing something else.
Like you're an asshole and you're typing "Good morning."
I hate your fucking face.
Okay.
So if if you're in a meeting, you'd have to say like, wow, you really didn't review this thing beforehand. You have no idea what you're talking about.
That's
and
the
you're just blabbering
last
like an
thing.
idiot to hear yourself talk.
That's
It's
the
like,
last thing.
how
I'm worried
long have
about
you worked
saying.
here?
Yeah, where does that go in a meeting? Not good.
Yeah.
Imagine like during some terrible sex. That'd be pretty terrible. Well,
Oh
and real
my
quick,
You
god.
really get in trouble when you're like sitting at a restaurant with your wife or something, and some girl walks by, and you're like, oh.
hey,
Hey, she has a nice butt or something like that. That would be really awful. I'm
that
sure.
takes me back to the thongs at Chopticon. Just kidding.
Oh man.
I'm gonna get in trouble for just saying that probably.
I wonder how old she,
smack.
I wonder how old she is.
See what I mean, Jake?
Shit.
See what I mean, Jake? Already saying everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in
Actually,
trouble
they
for
did a
that.
movie. What Women Wants. I found that very intriguing. I watched that.
Oh,
Did y'all watch that
Mel
back in the day with Mel
Or no,
Gibson?
yeah.
No.
Helen Hunt?
I've seen it.
You never watched it, Brent?
No.
The storyline is so catchy that I had to watch it, and it is pretty good. You
I
can
mean,
hear what women-
is it 90 minutes? Oh, it's what women want. Oh, yeah, they did a what men want. That's just got to be like 90 minutes of boner talk, right?
Yeah, they want boners. Yeah.
Well, you know what I meant, motherfucker.
I think that stat is way overblown. Where they're like, men think about sex all the time or more than women.
I agree.
Isn't
it's
it a little
overblown?
bit?
I think it's overblown.
Wait,
I don't know.
what is the stat necessary? Like what
I'm
is
going to butcher it, but I'll just say it. It's like men think about sex 90% of the time or something like that.
Or it's like every so many seconds.
Yeah. I could
Yeah.
probably look it up, but it's a bad, it makes
Yeah.
us just look like absolute, dogs, but there's nothing wrong with it, I guess.
Depends
I
on
think in the end,
We are animals.
well, if you take and peel the onion back a million times to get to the bottom of every action, most actions, if you dig deep enough, why you do them are to get some girl, usually, or at least please some girl, which leads to sex. That's the way. And honestly, and women have their own like ingrown instinctual things they do to get men. Generally speaking, it's way deep in the weeds to talk about that stuff, but it's pretty cool, like psychological talk. But yeah, I mean,
It's not just like last week when you said, "Hey, you want to get out of here?"
It's that easy.
Oh yeah, no.
Well,
So that would work in a bar though, because that's part of the reason you're there, right? Probably. I go to when I go to the bar, I actually go to hang out with my friends, but most people go.
Well, when
I
you're
think,
married, the point is to, be away from your responsibilities with your friends and get shitty, or not shitty, but away. Have a pizza, have a steak and cheese, have a dozen beers, watch football, whatever.
play Keno.
Yeah, give your money back to the state.
I wish I could see Mike, but I can't see him.
No, me neither.
I put my
I can
thing
see
in
his shoulder.
there. Oh.
Anyway, all right. So you would rather never say anything again, Brent.
Yeah,
So you could retain a few friends,
yeah.
and then Mike,
God.
you would just say everything.
I think so, dude.
I think I'd say everything. I mean, talk about honest. Whoever
Yeah, you would get
whoever is
better.
left in your life at the end of the day would be at least they know you're telling the truth.
I
Be
think
like
you would
liar,
get-
liar.
You would get better. at it.
Well, you'd have to learn to control your thoughts, big time.
Shoo,
mean, you
that's
can't-
impossible.
Oh,
It's your
you'd have to be-
thoughts. Everybody's brain goes a million miles a minute, especially today.
Oh,
Oh, my
yeah.
god.
Try to do it, Mike. Try to do it. Say what you're thinking right now.
Oh god.
Oh,
I'm literally
Too late.
No, I know. I'm not thinking about anything. I just typed Google.
See, and it's just like every time somebody gets up to leave whatever room you're in, you automatically think about that person or an action or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that guy sucks. Or oh, look at that ass.
I just-
anything.
Look at that.
I just
That's
thought,
funny.
I just thought about Google and typing it in to get it up, so we had it, and that was it. Yep, brain's back off.
Yeah, right.
Oh, sex just popped in there
Yeah,
again.
really, it's that when you really think about saying what you think, all of a sudden you're not thinking about much. It's weird. All right. So last week we talked about writing and reading poems from people.
Yes.
So this might bomb, and it may have already bombed. But
I think it bombed.
You think it bombed? I think we're gonna do it anyways, though. So I don't
Yeah,
think many
screw
people
it. I
sent
don't
us-
care.
We're doing this podcast a couple days early, actually, and it doesn't release till Monday, so there wasn't that much time. And we also did at the end, and obviously, very few people listen all the way through to the end.
Well, plus
So-
Adam was shitty drunk and turned a bunch of listeners off.
I've heard people liked what he had to say. They thought he was kind of funny.
People lied to you.
It was Adam, actually. So,
Mhm.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. So you want to read yours?
Mine's very short and very sweet, and it's about the virus.
Short and sweet about the virus.
Yes. Yeah.
I
So
think we all wrote
I wrote down sanitizing is essential, as well as washing your hands. If you're not keeping clean, you're as useless as a screen door on a submarine.
Okay. I guess I'm useless.
Shit. Was that 4 lines?
Yeah.
Did any of
Hey,
them
you
rhyme?
wrote it. Hey, you wrote it.
You
The
did.
point is, you sat down,
Started.
and even if you spent 5 minutes on it, at least it made you think a little bit.
Got one from James.
All right, let it rip.
Oh, Rosie.
I don't know how I'm gonna read it the best I can because we don't know cadence, and he just kind of wrote a paragraph, anyways. Every callus and every sliver of cracked skin tells a story of where you've been. Stories of moments that took the best of you and left it for scraps. Novels of things you've seen that you can't shake. Bend, don't break. Have you overcome or have they overcome you? We are all a little stronger than we think, taller than we stand. Sail, don't sink. Fly, don't land. Ooh,
Is that it?
that's good. Yeah,
Why does
I'd buy a book of those.
yeah.
that sounded like somebody was trying to sell me a truck?
Dude, James is such an artist, and he gets
always-
no credit for it.
Yeah, James is a good. I wish I could have wrote something
Takes
that beautiful.
amazing. His photographs. He's a photographer. For anyone out there looking for somebody, or if you want to buy his
J.
photography, because it
Palmer.
is awesome.
Isn't it J. Palmer Photography?
J.E.
on-
Palmer, I believe.
J.E. Palmer on the Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's taken a lot of awesome nature photographs and weddings and stuff like that. He's good cat.
With photography.
James is a man who's experienced some extreme loss in his life, and it comes out in his work. You know, you just can't help it.
Agreed.
Props, James.
Who's next?
Yeah, that was
Who
pretty
wants-
cool.
Mine is just.
Yeah, who's got to follow that?
I got one, and we got Mike's, and we got Adam wrote one.
Christ.
I think we should save Mike's. I feel like it's probably gonna be the best if
It's
it can
not.
be James's. Mine is gonna piss so many people off, but it's just a random thought I had. It's just a random thought. All right, I'll read Adam's. It's called Unmanned Home. Sitting on a bucket watching cars go by. I'm gonna start over because Brent's pouring
What?
a drink during
What
the
up?
poem reading.
I'm listening. You told me I'm not allowed to get up.
We have
Yeah,
Mike.
but
I
no one
didn't
can
get
hear when you're pointing in the mic.
You can
Right,
hear
ready?
that?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Oh,
mic
my
is
fault.
right here.
My
Next
fault.
to-
That's truly my bad. My bad.
All right. Oh my god. Playing this.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. When can I go?
Go ahead. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. I'll
All
leave
right.
it.
He actually sent me an audio
Oh.
as well, but let me see if I can get to work. Yeah.
Unmanned home. Sitting on a bucket watching cars go by. Seeing man stare and continue onward. Thoughts of home must be cast aside. Choosing this direction will be so hard. With cardboard and with crayon, right to grab their attention. Generosity is oft the last thing on their mind. Must stay focused on today's intention. Losing hope, the judgment will not be kind.
It's a homeless
did-
guy. He's sitting there. He's decided to go all in and be a bum.
Well, it kind of plays off what we talked about last week about panhandling.
Yeah.
It
It
must have
definitely does, but
it
it's
must have
more
been
of like
fresh
a
on his mind.
serious take on it. Pretty good.
He read it pretty
was
well too. Good little poem reading voice.
I should have when I clicked on it earlier. It didn't work, so I'm glad it worked there. Could y'all hear that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually came through pretty well. Good job,
All
Adam.
right.
Thank
You
you.
had some
Props,
bass
Adam.
to it.
That actually.
I feel
was-
like our show just got moved to NPR. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
That's all
you
right.
I'm gonna put I'm gonna put some reverb on, and it's gonna sound like we're in a little club reading a poem.
Should I?
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. That's all right. Hey, you know what? Not every show has to be, the same. So,
Yeah, just snaps
All
for
right.
everybody.
Want to hear mine?
We're not comedians.
Yeah, of course.
You want to get mad at it? All right. Ready?
No, why would I?
shit.
Oh my god! Unless it's about like killing people or something. I don't know.
No, I don't kill people.
Oh.
All right, ready? The world has come to a screeching halt. No smoke or smog from the steady onslaught. The earth breathes in deep and sighs with joy. Is Mother Nature happy, or is this another human ploy? We are told we humans are killing the earth, unwelcome on this planet. We have heard it from birth. But what if Mother Nature exists to serve and provide and wants her children to live freely far and wide? Maybe Mother Nature enjoys the hard work, cleaning up after her children, one of life's little perks. Don't speak or think for me, she says rather witty. I'd be just fine. I don't need your pity. Conserve and respect is all that I ask. I beg you to return to normal life and all of its tasks. I enjoy the hustle and bustle that only I can endure. I want my children to do what they love, and that is for sure.
I like it.
I know it's hard. Do you catch the drift? Does it make
Yeah,
any sense?
No, it made a lot of sense, Jacob. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, pretty cool.
It was an act.
point
now,
is-
now I took this about as seriously as like my morning dump. I need to like write another one.
The
It's-
point is, maybe
writing is
you
fun.
got the point. Maybe I didn't explain.
No,
But,
no, it was pretty loud and clear.
Yeah, writing's fun, man, and I like doing it. That's the problem was I could have kept going in mine. I had to like stop it, like, and of course,
See that?
I did too. I wanted to explain it more, but then I was like, you know, it's a poem. You're supposed to kind of figure it out or try to figure it out.
Yeah,
yourself.
because then it turns into an anecdote or a short. Well, no, an anecdote is kind of
Shit.
comedy. Or
It just
whatever.
turns into like an essay. Where you're
Yeah.
explaining.
I hope mine's
What
not
do you-
too long.
What are you, Thomas Paine? What are you doing?
Who, me?
All right, Mike.
All right, let me see if I can do this because we all know I have a little delay on my headphones. So I might screw myself up here. Let me see.
You're fine.
All right. I want to attach to you like a match I threw, a match made in heaven, upon seasoned wood that's forgetting. Mama Nature will never crumble. I lit a forest fire in a concrete jungle, sending clouds in view that block the skies you knew. Feelings change, I'm just letting you know you opened the wrong door on your own game show. Ding ding, a consistent no-show pubescent contestant. Ding ding, time's ticking, tick-tock. Everybody drink, drink, it's a social. Me to ya, fling fling. Distance only hurts when it's reforming the local swing swing. Those fornicating under the counsel of the king. My stubbornness is undenying, a thunderous tyrant implying, hide in your homes together or hide alone in dying. A governance, a vibrant and total dominance, a loss of confidence will be your consequence. That's when I want to attach to you like the match you threw, a match made from heaven, struck in hell. Will you live to listen or will you live to tell? That's it.
Sound like Jedi mind tricks or something. Dang.
Dude, it's so hard with this little echo in my ear, but yeah,
You're so lyrical, dude. You know?
Yeah, that pisses me off, man. Like I can't write like 90-second songs
well,
for,
mine was
for
more
my
like
little
the-
music projects, and then you spew some shit like that.
No, that was awesome. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that was great.
I appreciate
That was like that would win the night on like a spoken word contest. You know, mine was like a 4th grade poem. That was like a legit
Well, it was more like
with
a
big words and all kinds of crazy lyrical type stuff working.
It's cadence.
Dang, man, that was
So that's
good,
fun.
Mike.
That was awesome.
Hey,
We should put
Pretty
all
talented.
three. We're gonna put all 3 poems up, by the way.
are we?
Yeah, that'll be cool, man.
I hope that people like me that are not artistic at all really can get a little courage from that and then like go write a poem and give it to us and
But
we'll read it.
I will also
So-
add. The show is called Zero Idea, and you guys did just do something that you don't really do. You don't know anything about. So it's cool that may have been our first Zero Idea.
That's true. And I didn't read it to anybody or anything before. It just came out there. So I'm assuming you guys
Yeah.
did the same.
I wrote mine 45 minutes ago.
I wrote
All
mine
right.
this morning, early this morning, or no, two nights ago with Felix. Like I was just chilling in bed with him because he was not sleeping, and neither was I. And so it just ran out. It just came out, dude. It was fun. But anyways,
How's he doing with the fussiness? Is he a trooper or what's going on with that
nah,
kid?
it was just it's just the stage. Obviously, like it's like this. Yeah, he don't know what he wants, and if it's like if he's tired, it's like just go to sleep, dude. And he's like. He'll go, oh, he's drifting. It's like, what?
Kids get what it's
scary and
called.
dark. It's scary and dark.
Somebody calls it. They call it overtired. It's like
Yeah.
no, that's BS. If he's
Yeah.
overtired, he just go oversleep. But
I
no,
agree.
he's they stay up for no reason.
If 34-year-old Brent could go talk to like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12-year-old Brent, be like, hey, if you're tired, take a nap, bro. You're going to want it later.
Yeah,
Like, you know
I
what I'm
know.
saying?
It's that simple.
And save that money.
I do want to
Yeah.
add that now that I'm in a further stage with it, you'll think about that kid and it almost hurts because you just love that little thing so much that I have to like go look at him while he's sleeping. And the thing is, I'll stare at him like just real quiet. And I'll put my little phone on like just to see a little light and to be able to see him a little better. And then I think about stuff like, dude, everybody was that. And everybody had that but not really, because there are kids out there that have never felt love one day in their life, and that hurts. Because like that last night, I thought about that, and it literally hurt like me to the like. One day we were in Boston, and we were walking down the streets, and this I remember this kid was giving his mom a hard time, and she was yanking him around. He'd be yanking back, and I remember her saying something like, "I never even wanted," something like that along those lines. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's basically like, "I wish I never had you. Wish you were never here," and basically loud down the street, dude. And he didn't even care. Like, he just kept walking, dude. I almost had to we were going to the movies, and we went in there. I was like, dude, I have to like just sit here for a second, 'cause that like hurt my feelings like bad. And that kid doesn't know. That kid doesn't know. He never.
It should give you pause when you're dealing with people too. Like, you should think. So like, I was a product of, I had some, I got some real love shown to me as a kid and as an adult. Some very tough love too, and no families without problems. But man, I had some good love. I can't complain. And from my parents. And when you're dealing with people, sometimes you don't know where they came from, but you can see by their behavior that maybe there's a problem there. And I will say this, not that I'm special, but that girl in the story a couple weeks ago that was like literally trying to fight me, and she was throwing punches at me. She kicked me in the balls. And then I was literally like, you can't hurt me. I'm not going to do anything to you. But I just kept thinking, I actually started feeling bad. I'm like, this kid has I looked at her house. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a problem here. Like, this girl has no love. She's obviously, something's wrong with her, and I don't want to make it worse.
It's that President Street.
But like what Mike said is, not everyone has love growing up. And when you find yourself in a situation with somebody that is clearly struggling, don't, give them the benefit of the doubt, I guess, and let them win the argument and just walk away or something like that. I don't know.
Sometimes that's easier said than done. Like Jacob, like the three of us were very fortunate to come up in homes the way we did. I know, Mike, you moved around a lot, but you still had a pretty strong, support system. And, my parents are awesome. Jake's parents were next to zero as far as parenting. So a lot of times it's harder to put yourself in other people's shoes because your brain can't fathom it. No. You don't know any better.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, there was this woman, so this didn't affect me anyway, but I was so small that it's amazing that I remember it. And like I said, this is probably one of the biggest factors in that big burst of energy I always talk about. Because like, I don't remember a lot of things, but I do remember this one babysitter. And my mom even knows her. Like, we talked about her literally last time my mom was up. So my sisters and I would be babysat by her. Babysat, sorry. And
Whatever.
She would wake me up by dragging me by my hair. And I remember telling my sisters or something. I don't even know how they found out. I think my sisters might have told my mom. Dude, I was literally probably had been 3. Because it was when I was in North Carolina. And that's a good, I can scale things by, we moved every 2 years. That's why the one good thing about it, I can kind of see where my age was. I had to have been 3, and this bitch like woke me up like that. I guess because I was a kid, I wouldn't wake up. And so imagine her kids, what they went through with that. And like,
dude, imagine what she went through.
Exactly. It's a chain link of events.
It is a chain link. That's the perfect thing. And because I always think about what's that Neighborhood Watch, whatever website where you could see all the sex offenders and all that right on like near you and everything.
Yeah,
dude, scroll that bad boy up towards Baltimore and then keep going all the way up to New York. The amount of dots on there, every single dot is an affected life that just was ruined. And then that goes on and on. And if you look at the site,
spiderwebs out.
Oh, it's brutal to think what happened.
Well, so when you get the chance to stop it in its tracks, like my parents, they came from, I have a good grandma, not saying anything, but they came from a different place where it was bad. My parents both had bad home lives growing up, and they came together and were like, you know what, one thing we're going to do is stop this crap right here and raise our kids the way we think a good family should be raised. So eventually it does come down to somebody breaking the cycle, breaking the chain, like you said, and starting over with kids.
Well, yeah, because it's learned behavior. When you don't know better, you don't know better, whether you're 12 or 40 years old. And it's funny that Mike said that because one of my very first daycare providers was abusive to me as well. Luckily, I have a strong-willed mother who caught it and called this lady out on her bullshit, which was in Golden fucking Beach. I will let you know.
So do you think that affected you like to this day?
I'm not gonna lie, maybe somewhere buried deep down in there.
Yeah.
But I was really, really young, and they were let's just call them mystery bruises. How about that?
Okay, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Like,
When I mean young, I mean like pre-kindergarten.
right. That's what I'm talking. Like,
Yeah.
the thing is, it didn't affect me. I don't think, because I think I've handled it pretty well. But the thing is, it could have been a lot worse. There's no stopping that. I couldn't stop
Exactly.
any of that. That person could have literally ripped my hair from my scalp over and over, and I wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. And that's the power you hold as an adult, and that's what separates adults from pieces of shit.
You guys know me, and I'm pretty liberal when it comes to a lot of things on this earth. But I truly believe that as you get to a certain age, now you have stuff that has been maybe beaten into you or ingrained into you, but there is a point where you do know right and wrong.
Sure.
You do know.
When does that start? When does that start?
I'm not the world's biggest fan of blaming the past. Well, I know that it makes an effect on the future, but you have the power to
You
change
still
that.
know. You still know.
Yeah.
You knew.
Yes.
You knew then. You knew now. Like, you may have just taken too long, or maybe you just kept pushing it to the side instead of facing it front on. I don't know. When do you think that happens, where you know right from wrong? Like, when does that happen?
Subconsciously, you always know.
You think?
You always know.
You think every kid always knows right from wrong?
No, not every kid. No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, when does that come in? Like, some people just live an evil life from the beginning.
I think some people are just bad, man.
Yeah.
Well, like you're saying, everyone's a product of their environment for the most part. And then you're saying, Brent, that at some point there's enough access to enough information where you can change your ways and make a decision. But like, there's some cases where you'll have a set of twins raised in the same environment and they turn out to be completely opposite people. How do you explain that? Unless you say, well, one kid is just a bad kid or something like that. I don't know, how you get around stuff like that.
That's definitely hard to explain. I'm going to go.
Why are some people bad? Is it always goes back to their childhood? I think 99% probably does. But some cases, some people just can't overcome the evil that's within them. We all have evil in us. It's just a matter of.
So you're saying 85-90% of strippers have daddy issues, Jacob?
I said 99%. Yeah, I am saying it. Put it on. This might be an unpopular opinion. I agree with you. I'm not saying daddy issues, but I'm saying issues. They might have mommy issues. They might have something, but something in their childhood jacked them up, dude. I don't see. Well, of course, I've never been in that position, so it's me speaking just clearly without any knowledge on the topic. I don't know what I don't know what they're thinking. But what would make you want to go do that is beyond me. So I'm not gonna. I guess I don't want to speak for them.
Sure.
Well, no, you don't want to speak because there are a certain percentage of people who do things that you might go, something happened to them where they're just like completely fine with whatever they're doing and they can rationalize it without having a bad past. So you can't really speak for everyone, but you can probably speak for the majority.
Yeah, I think it's hard for us to understand, or hard to us to imagine doing something like that without having a massive, or just not having parents at all. Or it's in our life. Anyway, it's like I'm saying, we can't imagine doing that, knowing that we have to go back to them and tell them that that's what we're doing.
Right.
Like we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. And so I think we just kind of project and think that they couldn't do that either, unless there was an issue.
So and pardon me for bringing back in the adult entertainment, but it's easier to make a poignant point. Sound like Alex Trebek right there.
Blanket statement is what you're trying to say?
Yeah. So like, what if you're the potent? I'll take anal bum cover for 1,000. So
the rape.
The rapist.
Therapist.
That's hilarious.
So what if you're like I don't know, Jenna Jameson, like the most popular porn star of all time or whatever, close to it, whatever. Like, how do you get your parents to stay off the internet?
How'd she get a husband?
Huh?
How'd she get a husband?
How does she have multiple husbands?
Oh,
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Her parents are probably really jacked up people, man. There's no way. And if they weren't before she went into that, they got to be now. There's only one
But
way
here's
to deal
the
with
but
that.
so Jacob, you say that, and I wasn't trying. I'm not Jacob. You say that I wasn't trying to set up like a trap or anything, but this literally just jumped into my head. You know, she has like spoken at Oxford University. I think Mike might be able to look this up. It might be Oxford or Cambridge. Like, she's not dumb, and she has spoken to like the good side of porn, or like I might be talking out of my ass, but I know she's spoken at like.
Dude, that's them making money off of her. That ain't
You
because she
think?
has something special to say.
Well,
Yeah,
come on, man. She might be smart, but she might be just good at taking dick.
that's them trying to say, oh, look how open we are. We have porn stars speak at our graduation or something.
I don't know, man. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, or all adult entertainers the benefit of the doubt.
basically, her family went bankrupt and basically went to living into a trailer and stuff. She had medical bills to pay off, all this other stuff. So she went to banging. Although she was a gifted ballerina and a frequent winner, she was a spinner, a frequent winner on the pageant circuit. Jameson's teen years were a difficult and destructive time for the burgeoning starlet. She endured several sexual assaults and seeded the beginnings.
Oh, now it's not funny.
Seeded the beginnings of a significant drug habit. At the age of 16, she left home to live with her boyfriend.
Oh, man.
Moving on now.
Sound like some home issues.
She removed the braces from her teeth with a pair of pliers and used a fake ID to land her first job as an exotic dancer.
First job, like that. Yeah, easy money. It's just like drug dealer. Why do people go into drug dealers? It's basically the same.
You know, her
path.
boyfriend made her do the stripping shit,
Oh,
too.
definitely. He needed that PlayStation 1.
New rims on that truck. PlayStation 1, dude, she's pretty old, man. It might have been.
I know.
It might have been like Super Nintendo.
No, she's not that old, bro.
No, Sega.
How old is she?
Sega. It's probably Sega.
She's probably late 40s.
When was she born?
Sega.
Mike, what's her date of birth?
What's her date of birth? Sorry. 19.
I'm going to go with 73.
Go ahead. She was born. Holy shit.
68.
No. Brent, what'd you say again?
June 19th, 1973.
Dude. April 9th, 1974.
Okay. All right.
So guess when she turned 16? 1990.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
she's
called
slutty.
Super Nintendo,
That's
son.
Nintendo,
Maybe Nintendo.
That's
All right, okay,
well, whatever.
all right.
Her
Boyfriend needed Super
needed
Nintendo.
it. Her boyfriend needed it, okay?
Yeah, but
I know.
by the time she was the biggest porn star on earth, it's PlayStation 1 time, baby.
Who is the biggest porn star on earth? Who is
Oh, I don't know, dude. I mean, I watch porn
Ron
just as much as
Jeremy.
the next guy, but ew, dude.
Ew, I did not ask this question at all. Go ahead and think what Google brings up when you say, who is the biggest porn star?
Oh, Johnny Sins, Mandingo.
18.9. Gee.
Holy! How is there enough blood in the human body to support that?
Ugh. You ever get caught with it and get in trouble?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah.
So I never got caught in the act of
This is going to be good.
masturbation.
Couldn't find a better word.
I mean, what do you want me to do? I never got caught jacking it. I never got caught choking the chicken. I never got whatever.
When you put it like
But
that, I picture like the dick like while your parents walk in like it's getting beat up.
But my dumb
Mark
ass
Simpson.
actually would print out. We're showing our age here because we didn't have like smartphones, so we couldn't go in our bedroom and like tickle our
You
pickle.
printed, bro, you printed.
No, I would print out like
Oh,
pictures
oh
of
my
like
God.
porn.
What if it came in right while I was printing?
But the thing is, like, this happened twice
Black and
where I
white.
left it in the printer.
Someone hacked our printer again.
Oh no!
Someone
So
faxed this over.
I got home from school one day, and my mom had thumbtacked it to my bedroom door. She thumbtacked it to my bedroom door and just wrote, "She's hot," and like that's it. That's all that
Oh
happened.
my God, that's way better than mine, dude. One
That
time,
hippie mom is good. That's pretty fun, really.
Bro,
Get
when
to do
they-
whatever you want.
when the internet came
No,
around,
hey, don't even say that, Jacob.
I'm
no,
not saying. I'm just kidding. I love your mom, but I think that's a cool way to handle it. I guess, right? I mean,
I'd be kind
I
of.
mean, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
not if you don't have a computer or a phone or anything.
Well, when
or
it's
access to
when it's the family computer.
yeah, and it gets taken from you,
Lot
then
of
you don't get
viruses
to use
back
it
then,
anymore.
dude.
Yeah, well,
Lot
when you
of
get off the
viruses.
bus before everybody's home, that's what happens.
A lot of
Yeah,
viruses back then, dude. So I remember my mom left with my sister to go somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, here we go!" I ran downstairs and I got on that computer, bro. Back then, you could just look forever and lose track of time. You're just like, "Whoa!" Plus, everything took forever to download, so I probably watched 2 videos. But in like,
That's why I was looking at pictures, son. You gotta get it. You gotta get in. You gotta get out.
Dude, do you want to? Dude, this is so. And to think about the websites back then and all the crap that used to pop up. I remember they came home a little early, and I know my mom was extra quiet on purpose because she was trying to catch like me doing something wrong. And she came downstairs so fast, and I was like, there's a million windows open. I'm trying to close them. Bro, she says, she goes, what are you looking at? And you want to know what I said? I turned at her with a straight face and said, kickboxing. And there was two,
Brain land on kickboxing.
I don't know, because this lady had her leg up in the air. And I closed it out, and she said, well, here's your Bible. It was in the car. And I was like,
Oh,
thanks, Mom.
Yeah, get to reading, you nasty little worm.
Yeah, and then
Thanks,
I bought
Jesus.
my
That's
first
funny.
porno at Victory Baptist in the bathroom. Bought a magazine, some old ass magazine he probably took from his uncle. I bought it for $5 and I popped that thing in my book bag, and I went to my math class, and I remember like taking a slight peek in my desk, like I was like just looking down into my book bag, and I remember seeing something. My mom found that too. She said you need to clean out your closet. That's what she said, like on the way home from church or something. I was like,
Oh
"What?"
no.
I was like, what does she mean by that? How's this? She found it, and it was like underneath dude, it was so hidden. Like, I just
What is Diane
Hey.
doing going spelunking in your
Thank
bedroom? Did she
you.
hire a
You're
Sherpa?
gonna- Do you
don't.
think you're gonna search your kid's room?
No,
when
I'm
they're
not
gone?
going to, just for the fact that I still am upset about that snooping in my stuff. I'm still upset about it. So no.
I promise you, if I am ever fortunate enough to have a child or be a stepdad or adopt a kid or whatever, I feel like I'm pretty intuitive. But one thing I won't do is go like CSI in their bedroom. I
Do you
promise
think-
you that.
You think a kid that's living under your roof is entitled to privacy?
To a
To
certain,
a certain
degree,
extent, yes.
Dude.
You got to earn it.
It's an innocent kid that was just born. He didn't ask to be there. He's just living his life the way you did. You didn't
Yeah,
want
but
people
kids
to-
don't know any better, dude. If you
Dude,
didn't know any,
it's a
you'd have a whole closet full of pornos probably if your mom didn't stop you.
And what would have hurt anyone?
Dude,
It would-
it lowers your value of females. How about that?
No, I agree with you
I
to an
think porno's
extent,
wrong.
Jacob, but
Yeah.
we're not going to have like the back of my future hypothetical son's closet door is not going to be
No.
plastered with porno like the inside of a locker.
We're gonna. Well,
I mean,
we're gonna talk about things in depth. Like I
Yeah.
said, go into detail, and I'm gonna talk to him about everything, dude.
like so,
You already
like
know.
Jacob, your parents were very what's the word? Conservative. We'll just say not on the the geopolitical front, but as far as raising you. Yeah, can we say that? Can we call that?
yeah, yes, as far as it probably can get. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And my parents were way more liberal to an extent, but they instilled values in me that I still carry to this day. Manners and certain things that I've grabbed along the way. I don't feel like I turned out like a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't. Here's what I'm trying to say. Kids left to their own devices will inherently do bad things until there's no limit for a kid.
Exactly.
That's where the parent has to draw some line. I'm not saying to beat your butt every time you do something wrong, but if kids don't know any boundaries, kids don't have self-control, kids are selfish. Kids will go out of their way
I'm not
to make
saying
themselves
I'm
Do what?
not saying don't teach them those things. I'm not saying let them do whatever. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying actually get to those conversations before they even happen with where they get to make decisions. Like you pretty much every decision you got to get them there before they get there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Actually, that brought up a really good point. Did you guys ever have, the talk with your parents?
That's the problem, Brent. We never did. We never got into it like that. Like
Really?
we talked about porn. We never talked about babies, how they were born. Never talked about.
Oh wow. Okay.
nothing.
So I
was
hate to,
looking,
I hate
bro.
to
I was
like
searching.
use. What'd you say?
I said I
What'd you
was
say? I'm sorry?
searching, and suddenly I'm finding buckets.
Kobe. So
Yeah, I didn't want to find that, dude.
Yes, you did, you motherfucker. It's in your brain.
After I found it, maybe, but I still think it's wrong. Let me put that out there. I still definitely think it's wrong, and I don't like the fact that every once in a while I might look at it. It's not.
No,
Yeah, but so when you were a kid,
that's fine.
did you feel like a little bit of your innocence was kind of stolen? Even though you bought the magazine, you wanted to see it, but now you know it. Now you know what's out there, and it's like all the mystery is gone. And maybe you were 14,
I don't think it was.
I don't know.
No, I don't think it was stolen, man. I think I just love women, always good. And I found a really good one in the end. And so I mean, whatever. It's fine.
Mike, how old were you when you bought the porno?
13, 14, maybe. I think.
All right, so you were a horny fucking kid.
Yeah.
All right. Case closed. So
$5, bro. I don't even know where I got the $5.
So
I get that, dude. I'm just saying your mom, what maybe you're saying what should have been is she should have addressed it directly, like not clean out your closet, but like, hey, you don't need to be looking at the stuff. You're too young.
Yes. And I think that I think that you need to explain what porn stars are. Like we've just been talking about them. What you're looking at, who you're looking at. That's somebody. That's explain into detail like we've been talking about. Go into depth.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I like, and then, I don't think my mom will, I mean, she did it, so I don't think she'll, be mad at me for telling the story. So, Christmas, my 8th grade year, or no, I'm sorry. It was my 9th grade year. So it was like what, 14, 15. So I remember, Christmas, you obviously know that your parents are buying you gifts at this point. In my stocking, there were rubbers, condoms, Jimmy hats, whatever you want to call them.
I don't know. Hold on.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So I was like a kid, or not? Yeah, I was a kid, and I pull out this box of Trojans in my Christmas stocking, and my mother looked me in the eye, and she said, "I don't want you to use these. But you are in high school. You know what sex is, we've already talked about it, blah, 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 blah. If you are going to do it, you better use one of these." And you know what happened? I didn't use them. They expired. They went in the trash. I don't know what happened to them. But I thought that was a really kind of creative and cool way to go, hey, it's not like she put a joint in there. Like, we all smoked weed before. I used to love marijuana, loved it. Haven't smoked marijuana in over a decade, but it's the same thing where hey, I don't want you to do this, but you're a kid, you're a teenager, you're probably going to do it. At least be safe about it.
You should scar them. You should scar them with pictures of STDs and stuff. It's like,
see, no, you shouldn't. That's the worst.
I'm just kidding.
It's the same approach with alcohol. How are you going to show your kids alcohol? How are they going to be responsible with it? It's the same. You got to pretty much take the same tactic with all of these vices: porn, smoking, everything. You have to figure out how you're going to attack them all and do it consistently.
Yeah, exactly.
I like what Micah said. Teach them about it. Teach them the bad parts about it too, not just the good parts.
I'll explain why.
Nothing is always the silver lining is there because of bad things.
Right. And moderation is most important thing. I don't know if moderation in porn is the same, but moderation is key. And honestly, maybe because like porn just helps keep some dudes level-headed, I think, to a certain degree.
Actually, Mike, when your kid,
what else are you gonna do? You gonna just sit there and have a blank
but when your son comes to fruition, moderation might be the talk because porn is everywhere. Like dude. when we first got the internet, like we were all about to graduate high school when the internet really exploded. Yeah. And now you've got a smartphone where you can go around the corner and type in anything you want and look up anything you want. And sometimes when you look up something, you still get a penis in the Google search.
Dude, it's way worse now. Kids
It's
are just
way
sending themselves
worse.
pictures. Kids,
Way
like it's
worse.
ridiculous. Some of the stuff I've heard from people that have those age kids, it is not good, and it's only gonna get worse.
Moderation might be the talk instead
People
of
might be tired
the
of it.
talk.
Oversaturation.
Yo, that brings up another question here. So the cops that have to take these cases on of like predators against, they have to look through those computers, right?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! What a terrible, terrible job.
Well, I'm gonna agree with you. That's a terrible job, but at the same time, it's a very rewarding job. Like you have to look at
Fuck
it.
no.
But
Fuck
at
no.
the same
I
time,
disagree.
you are taking this scumbag fuckface off the street,
I get that.
off of his
Yeah,
neighborhood.
but dude, that's Mike. Okay, you kind of hit your own point. I think obtusely. Like if you look at enough of that stuff, it can affect your brain.
Nah.
So if you have some
Some
guy
people-
looking
some
at child
people,
porn
sure.
over and over and over, he's going to turn into a different person.
Well,
he can't help it.
is there a child porn division?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Oof.
sure.
That's why those
I don't
dots
know.
are on
I
that
said yeah,
site.
like I know.
I don't like it. I don't like
No,
it.
it's
There's
it's
people
awful.
that, yeah, there is.
And dude, you don't fix that. You don't fix that person.
No, you. I mean,
It's
I
in
mean,
there, bro. It's in there. There's no really fixing that.
There's no rehabbing the
mass
the
graves,
pervert.
mass grave, flamethrower. Just flamethrower them down. And now you
No, well, I mean, yes, but I mean, the prison system has a way of taking care of
oh,
those
for
things.
sure.
Somehow they do. Somehow prison does wipe out child.
Somehow
predators and
it's the
monsters.
cops. The cops,
Even
the guards, they tell them.
the guards tell the guys who want to know and who need to take care of it.
Well,
Well,
that's
no,
interesting.
Brent. Honestly, all they gotta do is be like, "I got you for a carton of cigs. If you could take out this," and he did this. It's like,
Yeah, we'll turn the cameras off.
I think you're now, Mike. I honestly think you're just like kind of Hollywooding, if I
sure.
can use that
You don't
as an
think that
adjective.
happens? You don't think that happens?
Oh no, it happens, but probably not as all wimbly bimbly as you just made it happen.
I mean, just to kick his ass, probably, dude.
No, there's no kicking a pedophile's ass. You stab him in the fucking heart.
Well, I think you should kick their ass over and over for like a year straight. Ever, just it'd be so brutal, dude. Every day getting your ass kicked. But
Man,
like
that guy would be. But then again, after a few days, that guy's going to take his life, and you won't get the satisfaction.
I know that's the thing. You gotta keep him alive. Ruin.
No, I mean, yeah, but he's got to go to. He's going to be locked down eventually.
if you could torture someone, how would you do it?
Oh my god, dude! I don't want to talk about that.
You don't?
Ooh.
No, that's awful.
Have you ever been waterboarded?
Dude,
No, I'm not. I'm not.
no.
I'm not in Vietnam.
It's not.
Or I'm not.
Guantanamo.
It's something
or
you
I'm
can
not
do on your, basically you and one other person just to see how it feels. It's pretty wild.
Or I'm not those dudes in Guantanamo.
Yeah, I've never done it, and I think I can.
It's-
I think I can kind of picture it, but
It's very effective, and there's no lasting psychological or physical damage. So I don't know why the people in Guantanamo got any.
Hold on, Jacob.
Yeah,
No lasting mental.
physical.
No, I don't care about physical, but mental.
It's just a wet rag over your head, and you're leaning backwards, and they pour water on it, and it feels like you're drowning. Simulated
okay.
drowning. Very
Cool.
scary.
And if I'm being tortured by a group of people I know are torturing me, it's going to fuck me up in the head for many, many years to come.
because they're
You better
always out
tell us
there.
what you know, then. Better tell us what you know, bud.
Oh, I'm singing.
Oh, I'm a goddamn canary. I hope I never do anything illegal and have to flip on anybody.
You, John Kerry, and John McCain. You can all songbird singing in
Whoa.
Hanoi Hilton.
Oh man, you are just ripping the dead right now.
You said
Yeah,
John McCain
straight
is a
Oh,
songbird.
he's not a hero.
No, look it up. Hey, look, I have a picture standing with me and John McCain. He spoke at my graduation. He's a good dude in a lot of ways, but he also used his daddy was a big admiral and back in the Navy during Vietnam. And yeah, man, he got let out because of who he was. And say what you want, it's pretty much a fact that he said something.
His daughter is a big girl, and I like it.
What do you think about Jane Fonda, Jake?
Come on, dude. Terrible. Trash.
A piece of shit, right? Piece of shit. She's a
She
piece
like
of shit.
loves Viet Cong, man.
Yeah. Dude, she's a
Love
traitor,
Charlie.
bro. People need to not forget about that.
I don't even know what the fuck y'all are talking about right now.
She snitched
What do they
on
call her?
a bunch of
Hanoi
boys.
Jane or something Jane.
Hanoi Jane or whatever.
Yeah, Hanoi Jane. Hanoi Jane. Yeah, dude, she was such trash. Back then, there was a big anti-war movement back then.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
But it was
I know
against
that.
the wrong. Like, yeah, you know what? The war was really stupid. I'm actually very anti the Vietnam War.
Same.
But the troops? Are you kidding me? They're just doing what they're told, man.
Right.
Going to
And
fight.
basically, Brad, a bunch of guys knew she was coming and wrote a bunch of notes to say how they were actually treating them because it was a press event to say how good they're being treated. So they wrote notes. They wrote notes, right? And they wanted to give them to her to let her know what's going on. And every handshake they handed her one as she went down the line. And at the very end, she handed all of them to one of the generals or whatever of the camp. And told
Stop it.
yeah, and a couple of those guys got beat to death, and the rest were just
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. The Vietnam POW, like the
Yes.
Vietnamese POWs, handed Jane Fonda notes.
Yes, she's the only one there, bro. She
She was there on behalf of the North Vietnamese, correct?
right.
Yeah, she was there doing a press event, basically on behalf of the Vietnamese.
Dude,
Yeah.
what a piece of shit, dude. Just
How do you sleep at night going, hey, this guy's a snitch, kill him?
right.
Snopes says that's false, but I don't believe. We all know Snopes is now become Snopes themselves. Like
there was-
they are no longer a legitimate source.
No,
But
they
it
were.
was- it was
Snopes
actual
was
guys.
legitimate around the Clinton shit, and that's about it.
there was actual guys that gave testimonies like after that. I don't know how they say it's fake, but
Well, I mean, she went to the North Vietnamese in 1972 and sat on an anti-aircraft gun visiting in Hanoi. So yeah, she was doing a publicity stunt and for the wrong team.
yep.
So so what do you say? Are you saying that she's just poured herself out? I mean, for lack of better terms.
She hated the American government so much and what we stood for that she went and pimped herself out, whored herself out on behalf of the North Vietnamese. Yeah. Dude, I went to
Wow.
Vietnam and my goodness, I went through the woods, I went through the tunnels,
Just to see.
and there's no way you could win a war there. The people are too clever. I looked at some of the stuff they had dug into the American base that was just outside of Saigon, Cu Chi, and
The Coochie base.
Cu Chi tunnels. I went there.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
no, Coochie
Amazing.
tunnel.
Shot a couple guns that were just like leftover guns that were so awesome. Man, what a great group of people. If you ever get a chance to go to the Far East, I recommend going to Vietnam. I recommend it 100%. Go there. I want to take the family out there very soon. But
How old
Asia-
do you think?
Asia's
how old-
on my list.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. I gotta wait. Obviously, I gotta wait for a little bit, but
I want to take the boat. They have a boat that goes down the Mekong or whatever other rivers out there, I forget, all the way from North Vietnamese. North Vietnam, Hanoi is still they're not as friendly as the South Vietnamese because, they're still a thing. But if you go to Saigon, the people are amazing. There's a leftover like French culture because the French colonized it way back when, and they fought a ridiculous war against the French before we came over back in like the 40s and 50s, and for their independence. They've been fighting forever, just like everybody over there. Thai people, they can fight. And when you see the woods and how thick it is, and the people and how, man, there's no way we could have won that war, and we didn't.
That's why. people
No,
always-
well,
Go ahead.
it was never a war to begin with.
Huh?
It was never. The war was never declared. It was a skirmish.
It was not a skirmish, I don't think. You have to look
Jacob,
that
I
up.
love you, but you're wrong. The
You say
war
that
was
a
never.
lot, and every
War
time
was
I
never
look it up,
declared.
That is
Vietnam,
possibly true.
the Vietnam War, also known as the Second Indochina War, and in Vietnam as the Resistance War against America, or simply the American War, was a conflict in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia.
See, that's why. See, and I hate to cut you off, Mike, but conflict. The Congress wouldn't, or the House. Pardon me for not being alive in the fucking late
All right,
60s.
Well, since 1941, Congress has declared war only 6 times, all during World War II. Congress authorized troop deployment in Vietnam, but because it did not issue a declaration of war on North Vietnam or Viet Cong, the Vietnam War is, technically speaking, not considered a war in the United States.
That's fine. I mean, I get it. It's like conjecture.
It's just what it is on paper. You do have a point. I mean, Jacob.
Yeah. So the Gulf of Tonkin resolution.
Thousands of men went over there and gave their lives for something that half of them didn't believe in or didn't even know why they were there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the cause was legit. It wasn't necessarily our war. We believe that, the domino theory was occurring and that China was just going to keep knocking down these little countries over there, one after the other, and they'd all become communists and form a big communist thing and come fight us. So
yeah, but they had, but even at that point, they had more people than us. Why were we worried about Vietnam and Taiwan?
We were worried about South Vietnamese because they were pretty good people and they were getting attacked by the North Vietnamese. And South Vietnam was, more of a democratic republic like we have, or some form of that. And we were fighting at that point in the world. There was a massive fight for the West against communism. So it made sense to go in there and try to, but it ended up being so prolonged and they were so dug in. I mean, there was just no way.
At what point do you let the United States is so far away. Like, when do you let people just fucking resolute or what? Not resolute. What the fuck? Just take care of their own shit. Why do we have to be there?
The problem is, it's the same reason we're in the Pacific now. I mean, we have a lot of interest in that area because if we don't, there will be another world power, namely right now, China.
Yep.
Yeah, but that word interest annoys me. So another country's not allowed to be world power. It has to be us. We have to be King Dingaling.
No. Somebody is going to be. I would prefer it to be us. Do you not enjoy the life you have now? Because it's not like this everywhere.
But I totally understand that. But it's like this probably in 2/3 of the free world. So what? I mean, what is
true?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah, I've probably been to 2/3 of the free world. Not to sound like a dick, but
no.
It's not the same. It feels good when you're there and you have money, but the regular person, no.
Yeah, but they don't know any better. That's the socioeconomic difference. I mean, if they're
that's caused by being a world power.
Yeah, but if they're poor and happy, what does that have to do with us?
That's another argument. Poor and happy is a total different argument. I am sort of a non-interventionist and isolationist myself. I kind of like that, but I also understand that there's reality.
Was it Eisenhower or Roosevelt that wanted us to stay out of WW2 until they bombed us?
Eisenhower was a general back then, so it wasn't him. And who was the other one?
Was it Truman that was the isolationist, or Roosevelt?
Truman dropped the bombs, brah.
Oh, so pardon me. So it was Roosevelt who was the isolationist.
I don't know, man.
Oh, pardon me for speaking. Believe me, I'm on the same page as you because I would prefer America to mind their own fucking business. Personally.
Here's the deal: you got to take the fight to someone else, or they're going to bring it to you. So we have enemies. You go fight them out there, or you fight them here. You don't want to fight them here. That's pretty much it.
I just don't understand having military bases in the countryside of
those are called spoils of war. We didn't ask for those. We had to win a war to get them. Right.
Yeah, but those were wars we didn't even want to be in the first place.
World War II, we saved, basically, you could say,
a continent
west from. We saved our way of life, right? Not just us. Europe
I will agree with you. Yeah, you're right.
To the winner goes the spoils. There's a reason Japan just didn't hand over land. We took it in a treaty to end the war, or they surrendered it, or whatever. Same with Germany. Trust me, they don't want us there either. But they lost the war a long time ago. But that's that's all.
And that war, not 75, 80 years ago, still carries weight like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know why that annoys me so much. I just wish if everybody would mind their own fucking business, we'd be fine. But nobody can.
Okay, tell that to Hitler.
But then again, you get that's power hungry weirdos.
I know.
You can't be happy
has
with
to protect the little guy, right?
The thousands of square miles that you have already. Like, what's the difference?
So should have America have just let them run roughshod and take over Europe?
I mean, that's kind of a fucked question, don't you think?
No. That was the question. What do we do? Do we help our brethren who we've sworn allegiance to, English, the French, or no? Do we just stay out of it and wipe our hands?
How many years do you hold on to thank yous for Revolutionary and the War of 1812 and stuff like that? Like
However,
how long
you signed a treaty. You not agreement. These are not handshake deals. These are deals you make. And as long as the deals say, I don't make the deals.
I just don't understand how long you have to like say thank you.
As long as the deal you made goes for. Unless you want to break out of it.
Well,
I don't know, man.
What do you think the average lifespan of a civilization is, Brent?
We'll define the term civilization, bud.
Roman Empire, Carthage,
America. I don't know. 300 years.
336 years, and we're at 246.
Let me ask you this, Mike.
We're at 243. 243.
I have a bone to pick with that question, I think, because there's so many tribes that have been out there forever that are still out there. Do they count, or is it only massive world powers?
Usually those tribes become part of a civilization. Just like with Rome, a lot of tribes were pushed into Rome by Genghis?
Genghis Khan.
It's Genghis.
Genghis Khan.
Oh, my God. Who gives a shit, Ninja Gaiden?
Fuck yeah, a lot of them were pushed in, and Rome took them in, and basically a lot of them were given forts or whatnot to take care of this, to help keep track of this, and eventually there was no real tie to what was Rome anymore, and a lot of them gave up a lot of stuff. And honestly, that was probably the start of the fall of Rome, which was Rome was dead before, like 100 years before they even realized.
Yeah, so I guess my point is the people they took over were still they're still a people. When the Egyptians took over the Israelites back in the Bible, they were still Israelis. They were just living in Egypt. And then they got away. The Egyptian empire crumbled or let them go or whatever happened. They ran away, actually. And then they were still Israelites. So like whoever was in the Roman Empire, whatever tribe, the Italian band, all these different people, the Turks, whoever, they were still themselves. They were just little city states, I guess. And then when it broke up, they were still a tribe. So they've been around a long time.
Well, yeah, but my family's immigrated here. That doesn't make us the same, though. Like you're down the line of your family, they immigrated here. That makes them different. They're the same. We're always like, my background is this, or I'm Italian, I'm French, I'm this. But you live here, so like that changed. That's different.
Yeah,
that's a part of something else. It's this different little mix. It's like it just keeps changing.
So if America dissolved right now, boom, gone. There would still be black people.
Yes.
And then they would go wherever they came from. There would still be Mexicans and everyone would go back and they would claim their original inheritance. I'm going
to disagree. I honestly think it'll be
a fight for this.
Populace of states. So I think Texas would be a thing. I think California would be a thing.
Hold up. So where would you feel most safe? I think I might run to Texas.
Oh, for sure.
No, I mean, forget the states. I'm talking about, this is very theoretical. So like I'm an American. I don't hyphenate. I don't have anything. I don't know where I came from. I'm guessing obviously Europe, right? Somewhere Caucasus Mountains region. But I don't have a tribe or something that I affiliate with. So like most black people, they trace their roots back to somewhere in Africa. So they have that.
Right.
Most Spanish go, well, I'm Puerto Rican, and we can trace our roots back to something else. Most people are hodgepodge, redneck, kind of America. I don't mean to despairingly say redneck, but
no,
people
I
like
got
me
you.
And probably you too, Brent. Like we're just Americans. We don't have a history that goes past 300 years. Really.
I had to spit a lot of fluid into a cup to figure out that I am the whitest white person that has ever been white. Like
so you have no identity other than American.
I did that 23andMe thing, and I was so disappointed because it was like, yeah, dude, you're English and you're Welsh. Figure it out yourself.
That's cool.
Like I didn't have it was weird. It was like 99 point something % British. Welcome.
Well,
yeah.
That's kind of the thing that makes me upset with most Americans, because everyone wants to say, well, this is America, it's a melting pot, it's this and that. But everyone wants to have their
own,
wants to also take pride in where they come from. But it's like, for people like me that I'm all in. I'm an American, you know,
Yeah.
not claiming anything else. Like you should claim the same. That way,
Yeah, but-
now
well,
we're
that-
truly, I accept you or whatever. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
But if you want to be from somewhere else and an American, then it changes it for me.
And
It's
It
like,
just
it's
does.
like,
You know what?
it's like all those idiots in Boston that carry around Irish flags. Like, what are you doing? You're American.
I mean,
It's
Conor McGregor doesn't
yeah.
even care that you exist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just stop it.
And
Yeah.
the worst part
Yeah.
is you get called like what, a nationalist or some kind of like a
Yeah,
white
nationalists. Yeah.
Yeah, God forbid you're proud to be from
right,
where
but
you're from.
they can be equally as proud of where they're from. That does nothing for them. So it's the same
Nothing.
thing. And we don't say anything about that. I mean, is it
Yeah,
that
and-
bad to be proud of America, even with its blemishes, even with its wrongdoings here and there? Is it really that bad? Because you're really looking past a lot of great things for
No,
those
it's not bad at all. We're where we are today because of maybe some wrong shitty shit, but a lot of good shit too.
Well,
So-
no one in the history of the earth has had as much opportunity as they can get here in America. No race, no gender,
Nope.
no subgender, no pronoun, no anything has as much opportunity and, you know, honestly, freedom as they do in America today. So
I like how you threw that pronoun out there. I mean because
the fact that I'm even saying that is ridiculous. But
well, no, it's not
true.
ridiculous, but it's true. America is tuned to freedom. I mean, it just is. It really just is.
Then it's working and everyone needs to back the F off, right?
and worry about other shit.
Stop trying to change it. It works. You got it pretty good right now. It ain't getting any better.
Dude,
It is,
people don't
man.
understand how good it really is. Like on the scale of like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So, like racism, it's always gonna kind of be there, right? But I do believe that it is better now than it's ever been in America.
Okay, there's so many stats to back that up, and I'm not going to get into them. But
I know.
if whatever racism means, whatever it means to you is what it means to you.
Right.
But by and large, black people
Yes.
have a much better opportunity in this country than they do in the entire continent of Africa. They have longer life expectancy, higher per capita income, more opportunity, more everything, and it wouldn't exist without America. So, I mean, I hear you, but I'm also not hearing you. I am hearing you, and I'm hearing you again as well, because I think we're agreeing.
Yeah, we are agreeing.
I agree with you to an extent, and you know where I stand on a lot of stuff. But no, what you just said is it's factually correct. You can't argue with facts. And you know, there's the political pundit / Jew superhero.
Ben Shapiro.
What's his name? Ben Shapiro. And one of his favorite lines is just facts don't care about your feelings. And that's true, because a lot of people put feelings into, they want to give monetary value to an extent, like not monetary value, but you know what I'm saying? Like real value to feelings when you have to only speak in facts. And it sucks that's the way it is, but that is the way it is. I'm not saying I'm a Ben Shapiro fan. I'm just saying in general, you're correct.
I like Ben.
I mean, I don't hate him.
Yeah.
I like some of the stuff. He's a bit whiny for me.
He's
He's a little whiny, and he's a little bit what's the word? Well, I mean, he came from a rich family. His wife's a doctor. There's certain things, you know.
He
What I'm saying?
disconnects on a social
but
and like
that isn't-
economic
that-
level.
Dude,
Yes.
you can't use that to take anything away from how well he speaks, how well he debates. He got himself where he's at. Like, let's.
Oh no! I'm not saying. I've listened to many
You can debate
podcasts,
anybody. Yeah.
especially his,
Yeah.
because he is very intriguing. I mean, Rogan's had him on 3 times,
Yeah,
maybe 4.
yeah.
So
Hey.
I mean, he's there for a reason. It's just sometimes when you speak the way certain people speak and present facts as cold hard evidence, people don't know how to react.
Yeah.
Think about this. Don't you want your kid to be from a rich family?
Of course.
You're a doctor. You know what I'm saying? I hate hearing that too, even though I say it and I disagree with what you said, Brent. But like, I hope that someone says, oh, that girl's from a rich family. Not that I'm rich, but I'm hoping to get rich, obviously, right? We all are. And her mom was a business owner and her dad was doing something important. None of that's, I'm not Well, Heather has a business, but I'm not doing anything important.
You're
we're not
digging
rich.
your own grave, motherfucker.
But you understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be a slight. It should be like, wow, they have great parents who tried really hard, you know, instead of, we can't really take what they're saying because, you know, she's just a little rich kid, you know?
Well, no, and I'm going to agree with you, Jacob, because at the turn of the century, there was a hierarchy. Oh my God. Let's rewind that. Hierarchy. There was a hierarchy in the, God damn it, I can't say that word.
Don't say it fast.
Oh, yeah.
Hierarchy in the country. You know, there was 10 families that ran the show.
Somebody
as far as
had
money?
to run it.
Somebody does.
Somebody
Right.
had to start it. Somebody had to bankroll it.
And I'm not
Somebody had to take
disagreeing with
risks.
you. That was 120 years ago. At some point, people need to make their own destiny. That's what I'm saying to you, and I'm agreeing with you.
More hands, the
Yeah.
more shit gets messed up. But the thing is, what I think is your one job, literally, is to make your kid's life easier than yours was. So if somebody gets to make their kid's life easier, just to hear people say your kid is, you know, silver spoon, it's like, what the hell? Like,
Fuck
that's
you
our
for
whole
working hard.
Yeah, that's the whole point, you idiot. Back up.
Yeah.
Worry about
the
yourself.
whole point.
It's the
It's
whole
like Chris Rock
point.
when he's like, what does he say? I forgot it. He's like, I got my master's degree, and it's what, you my master? They get all mad at him, and it's like, yeah, I went to school, and they get mad at him for doing that. It's like, no, you know, it's a good thing. Don't hate on it.
It's this guy that already cleared the brush, and now his kid can walk down the path, you know, without worrying about that stuff. He can worry about what's in front of him now a little easier. So what?
Yeah, as
Start
long as you
clearing
actually
brush.
teach your kids values of hard work along the way, right? And don't just give them a car, like make them work for it, stuff like
Oh
that.
my God.
Agreed.
For some reason, what you just said made me think of Friday. First, put the gun down, Craig.
All right, I don't know how we got on that long tangent, but what did you have next, Jake? We're up at an hour.
All right, I had a lot more, but we'll skip it and keep it for next.
Well,
I
whatever
will
you
leave on one question.
Okay.
If you could learn any one skill in the world without trying, like Matrix style,
right?
What would you pick?
Nunchucks.
You wake up tomorrow and you have a skill that you didn't work for.
Nunchucks.
I've already got it.
You already got the skill, so you don't need a new one, or you already?
No. I already have the answer. That was the easiest question you've ever asked.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
I'd love to be trilingual. I would love to speak as many languages as I could.
Well, you just said 3. You only could
All right.
3.
All right. So I didn't.
One English, and then I'm just kidding. I'm just joning.
So he could go.
Yeah,
on
I know.
Zoom, to randoms.
So you know what? That's an awesome skill. Man.
I would love to be a linguist.
That's great. That's pretty good. That's pretty top notch answer right there. I got
That was the easiest question ever, bro.
That
I
made
would love
up-
to just land anywhere and go,
Yeah,
yep, I know what's going on.
That made up for your poem. So good job.
Let's give Mike a break real quick, and while he's thinking. And Brent, have you tried to learn any language yet? And if not, what's kind of holding you back?
I mean, I think we all took. I mean, when we were coming up in school, what was it like? French or Spanish? French or Spanish? You pick one, you son of a bitch. And I did the Spanish route, and I didn't learn a goddamn thing. I know a couple key phrases, and I might be able to survive if you threw me off a plane in Mexico or Spain or wherever Spanish is the predominant language, or Southern California.
I survived the plane crash first.
Well, yeah. But I just and then I had access to a lot of Rosetta Stone stuff and then stopped, which I wish I hadn't, because I would love. And that's the funny thing. Like, you go to, if you go to Europe, Western Europe, they all seem to know one or two more languages.
Yeah, they're exposed to it a lot more. There's a lot tighter. Europe is small compared to the United States. So
I mean, I understand. They
all speak English a little bit, mostly.
Yeah. Oh, believe me. Like, when I was in Lisbon a couple months ago, everybody that was quote unquote worth something to me spoke English. If I was going to buy a record, the guy spoke English. If I was going to get food, English. And so I got you. But
international trade is conducted in English. That's one of the perks, Brent, of being a world superpower.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jacob. But how cool
Sorry
would
for
it be
kicking
to
ass.
land in Lisbon and just know? Well, I think the Portuguese speak Portuguese. Yeah, or they speak. Yeah. No, Brazil they speak Portuguese.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's a good one.
I
I like that.
I would like to be a linguist of some sort. Yeah, for sure. Like on the level of Dikembe Mutombo.
I think with being able to knock out all the time that it takes and then just have that skill, I think I would be classically trained in, I'll say 3 instruments just to be realistic. I'll say piano, violin, or maybe cello, not violin. Say cello, piano, and saxophone.
Oh, getting sexy with the
Some kind of horn,
woodwinds.
something.
The old brass section.
Yeah. I would be classically trained in all of those and be able to do recordings like of actual.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
That's not bad at all.
yeah, because you would get to know what I already know, which I like what I know about programs and certain things and this and that. But to be able to just get all that knowledge like that, that's where I'd probably go because I know I would get enjoyment out of that.
How baller would it be
Yeah.
just to pull a dusty old cello out of a case and just fucking like
Guitar
fire that
piccolo.
bitch up?
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Oh.
Instead of the saxophone, a guitar, classically trained guitar, of course.
Oh, you want to be Esteban?
Oh yeah. So piano. Yeah. That'd be.
Damn, that's a good answer too, bro. I see those motherfuckers play like a violin. There's no frets. There's
Yeah.
no nothing.
Yeah.
Like
I'm a little
what's
bit.
that?
I'm a little bit distraught over here because I was going to say that almost exactly that, and I figured Mike would never say that because he can already play all these instruments. It's not fair.
You're gonna say classically trained.
I was
Yeah,
going
Mike-
to say classically trained, but I was going
Mike
to
can
say
play guitar. Let's get it.
yeah, he can play
twisted.
guitar, he can play piano, he can play drums, he can play all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Very
Obviously
little.
not like the best in the band for each of them, but he's
No.
he can
No, not
play.
at all. Agreed.
You're already a musician. I'm
That's
pissed
the
now.
problem.
Dang it.
That's my biggest problem. Is I dabble in so many things. I just never stick to it. It's just so. It's just a problem in my brain, dude. I gotta keep. I think it's from the military life of constantly moving on every 2 years and just everything changes.
You're just adequate enough.
I just learn stuff just a little bit, and then I'm like,
Jack
yep,
of all
got it.
trades.
I'm moving on.
All right. Well, I had, music was definitely mine, and I didn't really think much else out of that.
Pumps.
So I've narrowed it down to 2. And I know as soon as I go to bed tonight, I'm going to think of all these other skills I wish I had that I've already wished I've had before that I didn't say now.
Sorry, Jake.
But yeah, this one's a little bit gay. Actually, they're
Oh,
both
hold
kinda
on.
gay.
Hold on. What is
In
what
the
does that
classical
mean?
sense of the word.
What does that
90s,
even?
bro.
So
In
they're
the
both
classical
happy.
sense
They're
of the
both
word
happy.
is in like 1992. Huh?
They're both happy.
The way we used it growing up.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
Brent,
Not like
he,
the way,
he wasn't
your
like
buddies.
it's a
are.
little bit of hang gays, kill them, but it wasn't like
I mean,
that.
if I can't say that, what are we doing? Can I say anything?
You can say faggot.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't say
A little
faggot.
faggy, but
That word
I
is
think
fantastic.
learning, since you get to learn all these instruments, you get to learn all these languages. I think it would be cool to know how to do very well all of the world's dances, like the
Ooh,
salsa
That's
and
good.
the rumba and the
That's
tango, and very
Yep.
very well.
Yes.
So-
dude, that's killer. That's
So
really
that's
good.
not bad. Fun fact about your boy: I know how to foxtrot, tango. I know 4 classic ballroom dances. I can't remember the other 2.
Hey, the first step is the 2-step. Then we'll talk.
Hey, Jake.
So
sorry.
So my mom used to work for a very well-off fellow, and I got invited to these cotillion classes that like taught you how to eat properly, taught you how to, like, if a lady got up from the table, you stood up too, taught you like forks, like which forks were for what, and they taught us ballroom dancing. This
Nice.
shit was crazy. I still know how to waltz and foxtrot my fat ass around town, buddy.
I'm talking being a stud at it though, like knowing.
Yes.
Oh no, I just know the basics.
Guys.
We had that
Guys.
class in at the Merchant Marine Academy. They
Guys,
have like
picture
a
this.
trained person come in and teach you etiquette and all of that good stuff. So,
Yeah, man.
Picture this. There's a dude out there that knows all three of our picks.
There is.
I know.
Just knows languages. He can play them and he can dance.
And
he's
fuck
killing
that
it.
guy.
He's got
Oh
three
man,
Instagram
you know what my
model
other one
girlfriends.
was, and this is kind of reaching a little bit. I would love to do it, but I have not tried to learn this, and I don't know that I would, but if I just magically knew how to do it, I think I would like it, and that is knowing how to cook very well, like everything.
Oh,
God,
that's a
another
good one, Jacob.
You know, you can cook whatever really well, and it tastes good, man.
Dude.
And guess what? There's someone who knows how to do that, plus all them other things too.
Well, yeah, but if
Ooh,
you
I
want
got
to
another one.
really want to connect with somebody's soul, it's through their stomach and their mouth. You know, it's you know what I'm saying. You know.
My next, I think my backup answer would probably be to know as much as possible about the medical field and be knowledgeable with that. That'd be pretty sick.
My backup was this is going to
I think
sound
you have to
so
pick a
mean.
skill like surgery or something. But all right,
My backup
all of that.
literally was coding.
dude, I almost said coding too.
Like I would love to just build a website out of zeros and ones like right
You know
now.
what? That's the easiest thing that we've all mentioned by far. By the way, coding is very difficult, but it is doable. It is
Shout out to Big Luke Adams down there in
Dude,
Richmond. I hope he hears this.
Do you know how many blah blah for dummies I have lined up like on my thing? And like coding is definitely one. But like there's so many things you can get like a little head start on by just like reading one of those things.
Oh yeah, you can learn how to code without any real skill. And I'm not trying to talk trash about coders.
No, you're not.
You can. It's something you can learn on your own without having a talent for it.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
I'm not saying
if you can call like 1-800 My Computer Career, like yeah, I got you.
I work with some guys that are just absolute geniuses at coding, and man, when they get going, it is another world what they're talking about. But you can go to the library and get a couple books, and you can become like an amateur coder pretty quick.
I mean,
Playing the guitar and all that, I don't know. It seems harder.
I have a guitar sitting here that collects dust.
The thing about instruments is you really do either have it or you don't sometimes. Just like sports, either you have it or you don't. You can work real hard. Same thing with video games sometimes too. I'll be honest. Competitive.
No,
video games.
you have a point. You have a point.
Like there's just some people could do things on video games you just can't. And I played a lot. There's some shit.
Some things cannot be taught. You're right about that.
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right. Well, let's wrap it up.
Everyone have a good day. Hopefully we'll be
All
out
right.
of here soon. Quarantine over. And we'll
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Not
Bye.
everybody. Viet Cong.
There's Charlie in the trees.
Oh man.